What's up, guys, and welcome to the Quick Diz Takes podcast, episode number 85. I am your host, Tim LeBeau, alongside Mr. Stephen Lanzi.
Hello.
Mr. John Castano.
Oh, hello.
And Miss Sarah Castano.
Hey, howdy, hey.
If you're new to the show, need I say, please like, share with friends, subscribe. Come back every week. Let's talk Disney. We get some news, and then we get a topic today that Stephen had come up with, where we are going to discuss underutilized properties that Walt Disney owns or has actually created, or whatever you want to say. At this point, it's become so diluted. I don't know. It's hard to remember what they created and what they bought at this point for a lot of people. So, so we'll go down that avenue as soon as Sarah hits us with the news. So without further ado, Sarah, if you would please enlighten us.
Absolutely. It's what I do. Little sad, no speculation this week, but it is what it is. It's a very light news week, which is good, but also not so good. For our quick Diz mentions, I was very excited to find this out. Disneyland out in Anaheim, California, announced that Encanto will take over the exterior of It's a Small World. Beginning tomorrow, April 11th, the facade of the attraction will become enchanted several times an evening with a brief visual montage paying homage to We Don't Talk About Bruno. There will be a musical selection that accompanies with it. Because we don't talk about Bruno, we sing about him. Loopholes.
Fair enough.
Yep. For our quick Diz updates, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind does get the official opening debut date of May 27th. We do have a couple places kind of showing that they have their lightning lane scan points in place. They have their height measurement requirement tools at the gate ready to go. So it's looking closer and closer, like they are ready to rock and roll on the 27th. So I'm very excited to see it. I know people are going to complain that it'll open up to that virtual queue, but we've lived through it before. We will get through it. We lived through Rise on a virtual. We lived through Ratatouille on a virtual. We will make it through this as well, friends.
Yeah, we lived through COVID too, but I don't want that again.
Well, yeah, but this is something much less life-threatening than COVID. Got a cold right now. Anyway.
I know.
Digress.
Just saying.
Vanellope
don't need to repeat themselves.
I want the virtual queue. I'd rather wait in line, take my chances, and not have to wait in line for 4 hours.
What, the virtual queue?
I'd rather get a virtual queue and wait in line for 20 minutes than wait in line for 4 hours.
That's true.
At least for the beginning of it. I mean, eventually get sick of it, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be out of hand at first, of course, because that's just what happens. So, yeah, I guess.
Just for a little while.
All right. Vanellope von Schweetz is once again greeting guests at her character spot in Epcot, which was literally one of the highlights of Johnny running at Marathon Weekend at 2020. I was able to see Joy and Vanellope and my inner 4-year-old, because let's be real, she's not inner all that much. I was pumped to see them. So she is back at her spot in Epcot. And finally, on our quick Diz updates, the Flying Birds are finally back, making their triumphant return to the stage show in Animal Kingdom, a celebration of the Festival of Lion King. So my question comes at this point: if all of our performers in their various roles have returned to the show, is it no longer a celebration of the Festival of the Lion King, or can we go back to Festival of Lion King? It's no longer going to be an abridged show. We're not missing part of the sequence of events. Do we get our full show back? Does it get its full title back? I'm putting that out to you, Disney peoples.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, if that's all it took, getting everyone back, then all right.
If it means that much to you, you can call it that now.
Okay. Yes. So they had put out casting calls for it. They have filled it. They're back. It's my favorite show on property.
It is.
I am very sad if I miss it because it's awesome.
I like watching the monkey guys flip.
They are fantastic. I love them.
It's almost like Broadway.
It is.
It's like going to a Broadway show. I mean, it's pretty close to me, I think, and it's a great show. I honestly, I have seen it enough times over span of enough time where I have to give those actors a lot of credit because I've seen some of the same actors multiple times, like a year, 2 years in between, and they still do that show with like as much enthusiasm as like the first time that I saw them. So I give them a lot of
And
credit.
their consistency too is incredible.
It's really incredible. It is the same. It is the same. So in a good way. So absolutely great show.
And when you think about the cost of a Broadway ticket and the price of your admission, even if you're on the nosebleeds when you're in that show, it's still cheaper for your price of admission than it is to get that close in Broadway.
I mean, kind of a similar thing too is the Beauty and the Beast show. I mean, I don't think it's I definitely like Lion King a lot better, but still kind of that same mindset.
Yeah.
Like most of the stage shows are pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
I do have a little announcement. This one was
Could be.
a request that came in. I did have a request that I'd mention about Run Disney announcing their theming for next year's marathon weekend. It's so rad, you guys. It's
Oh,
early
that's
90s theming.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
If you haven't seen the images and the medals that's going to be distributed for marathon weekend, you like totally need to check it out because it's so rad. And if you haven't seen the images, this language will all make sense. I'm hip, I promise.
The intro to Saved by the Bell. It's awesome.
I'd say it's like the Saved by the Bell intro. It's
What-
like
what?
every caboodle thing that every girl had. It's the colors and the squiggle lines and the geometric shapes.
On the medals?
Well,
They just
what they've
released the
released.
themes. They didn't
Oh,
release
I
the
get
medals
you.
so I'm sure that image will be on shirts. It'll be something similar on the medals.
I
All
want
of
a Mighty
the
Ducks medal.
PR. Can you imagine if that was
Give
the
me a Mighty
springtime
Ducks
surprise
medal,
one
and
year?
I will walk a 5K for that
yet.
medal.
They also got
Any
rid
day of
of,
the week, baby.
they
Tim,
also
let's
got-
fly down
got-
and do it.
They got rid of
I would.
Oswald.
In a flying
I
V
know.
formation.
They did. I was upset to see that as well. They got rid of Oswald and they have replaced him with Chip and Dale. So that was really the only
For the
time we had
10K.
Oswald in the parks. But now they got those two. Yep. Sad moment.
Although I do like Chip and Dale, these guys are cool too.
Indeed, indeed. So,
And we're getting Rescue Rangers back soon.
Yep.
Right?
what was the tagline? It's not a comeback because we never left. Then I don't know. I don't remember.
They kind of left
No, they did.
for a while.
But they've always been here.
This is
For like 20 years, 30,
sign
almost
up.
30 years.
Sabbatical.
Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is signups. The 19th.
Johnny's ready to go.
So any of you listeners
Guys
in a
who are
virtual
interested,
I got one more dopey in me.
Man,
dopey.
until he runs that one, then he's got another one.
until our
No.
annual passes run out,
No, well, one more, and then I'm going to take a break.
Yeah, these
I-
annual passes run out
take a break.
until you
I'm
renew
going
them.
to take a break and run one of the other races instead of marathon weekend. I
He
think.
missed the reference. Anyway, if you don't take a break, bad things happen, Johnny.
Johnny, you walked
Side,
right into a Hamilton reference there.
Yeah, well,
side note, I have some questions about the whole dopey run
Oh my.
experience, because that is one that I would love to do before my knees absolutely quit. So I've been running about 7 miles regularly. So I can probably do
Far
it.
more than me, Lindsay.
you only got to
Still
add
waiting.
you only got to add 19 more, and you're all set.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the whole weight loss part to start with. I was told
You're the best.
I was told that running helped you lose some weight. So I guess that's just like a delayed response. So that's
Old wives' tale.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
So this also puts out another thing. If anyone out there is interested in running in person in Disney, Run Disney events, and you're looking to get down there, I happen to know a lovely gal who could help you with all of those travel arrangements. That would be me. Feel free to email Sarah at awaywithmetravel.com. I can help you out. Just saying, people.
Insert shameless plug.
I didn't even think of that until he's like, hey, can you bring up
I'm
the Run
joking.
Disney stuff? Like,
But
actually,
Joking.
But just be prepared to pay more money than you did last year.
yes, the prices are increased like $60. We
That's
saw
every
price
year. Every
increases
year it goes up.
literally everywhere else. It was only
They
a matter of time before it
They
hit Run Disney.
increased, but they increased more than they have in the past.
Yes, it was a significant jump.
And
Like
we're
a-
surprised at that.
No,
a little bit.
no, we're not.
I was looking at it. Dopey has been consistently like going like $10
bucks.
every year. This year it jumped up 60.
No problem.
Nah, no.
Which is crazy when you also realize that because of COVID, where they lost money, okay, they did lose money, but let's be real, they didn't lose as much as people think they lost.
Here we
The
go.
amount of people participating in virtual runs where they literally don't have to shut down the park, get volunteers, pay for merchandise, pay for you're running at your own on your own time. They have so many more people participating in that they don't have to pay for. And they still are increasing it by $60.
Yeah, poor Disney.
I feel so bad.
As soon as when the demand goes down, they'll stop raising prices. People keep paying.
Right. And shame on us for doing it, but
I
we
know.
do.
I'll be paying next Tuesday.
They keep raising it, and we just okie
We just keep buying it.
Yeah.
Also guilty because I signed up for the Wine and Dine virtual 5K. Sorry.
There you go. You've never run a race before with them, and now there you go, right?
Not with Run Disney, no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Disney.
Is what it is. A big headline that I did get this week, affordable housing development is coming to Walt Disney World. And by affordable housing, I'm not sure what that means because as we just talked about with the prices.
Affordable housing.
Affordable. Like I'm waiting for like italics, like a little
minute.
like the superscript where you have to click on it and it brings you to the bottom of the article. So Walt Disney World President Jeff Valley, who we enjoy the Jeff, he announced earlier this week that Walt Disney World Resort will earmark nearly 80 acres of land to bring, and I quote, an affordable housing development to Southwest Orange County, Florida. So we talked about this maybe a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember when, but we did say that there were kind of speculations that Disney was buying more land in Florida near the parks. And so there was like rumors that it could be a fifth gate. Well, now we know what that land was. So while this development is still in the incredibly early planning stages, it is expected to include more than 1,300 units and will be constructed by a third-party developer near the Flamingo Crossings area, which is where all of the college program students live. There's still a ton of details left to work out. I try not to get political on the show, but we do know that Governor DeSantis is trying to take away the Reedy Creek kind of the independent governing system that Disney has going on. There's a lot of politics involved in that. Try to keep it a very happy show. But if that does go through, this could also then fall through as well. So just something to kind of keep in mind. So maybe not so happy news that they've announced this. But if that's the case, if they do lose the ability to make this that affordable housing development, could we potentially get our fifth gate? We don't know. But enough about politics.
Explain to me. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, don't trust. It's not political, but if Disney's going to make for like housing development, I wonder if any part of that's going to be dusting off the old Epcot, the original Epcot plan. I mean, that's kind of what Walt wanted Epcot to be, right? Was
True.
A city of tomorrow that has public transportation. Now, let's even expand that. If that's going to be where a lot of college kids are, especially employees of the parks, I mean, you really could tie it all into Disney transportation. And they could make it the type of, city of tomorrow type of thing that Epcot was supposed to be. So that's just, that's a question that I would have as to if they're dusting off some of those old plans.
So my question is there going to be like a homeowners association affiliated with this? Because it's affordable housing, whatever that even means. First of all, I'd have to see like what that means when the prices come out. And then I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it's affordable housing.
Homeowners association. That's our guide.
So what happens when Steven buys it and then Sarah wants it for $800,000 when he bought it for $2 million and he sells it? Right. And that happens like that because people are going to want to live in Disney housing.
Yep.
So how does that work?
I just
so when
wanna,
I think of,
is it controlled? Is it
I
capped?
was gonna say, I just want to know if the homeowners association is going to be Mickey and Pluto, and if your grass gets too long, he sticks Pluto on you.
It might.
Pluto poops in your yard,
but it's just I don't get it. I just feel like Disney, like they play. And once again, I guess you're skimming on politics here, but they play the kindness card all the time, but they're just, it's corporate greed over and over and over again. I mean, come on. I don't
So
buy
if someone
it.
said there's
I'm not buying
affordable
this, is what I'm
housing,
saying. Yeah. I
if
wanna
someone
see
told me
what-
a new development is coming up the town over with affordable housing, in my head, for where I live, that would mean a certain percentage of the units involved are going to be, I don't want to say like Section 8 housing, but there's going to be a scale.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be units available within this development where people of any income, price point, whatever, obviously they're not going to have every house be like Gingerbread City where they're all identical and some are getting it for more than others. But if that's the conversation that's being had, then it's entirely possible.
And then how close it,
It said
if
it's the
affiliated with
Flamingo
Disney,
Crossings area.
there's going to be like high standards. I don't know.
I imagine there'll
We'll
be
see how
some
it
kind
plays
of
out.
tweaking to it. I don't know. I don't know if it's townhouses. I don't know if it's condos. It just said units. I didn't read through the full article, but from what I did, it was very redundant in the fact that it was going to be still not very early stages and that all this is coming. They did release some concept art, but it was kind of very like watercolor sketch as the theme. And it wasn't really too much you could tell from that.
To me, it's the Disney brand is huge and they want to find any way they can sell it. And if it takes them to say that it's affordable housing to get it passed and ready to build, that's what they will do. And then time will go by and it'll be another, what do they call it? Golden Oaks or whatever that community they have.
Yeah,
already.
where it's like mansions.
It
Yeah,
just
no,
becomes
thank you.
another one of that because the demand's so high. Everyone buys those and Airbnbs them out because they're so close to Disney and they're affiliated
Mhm.
with Disney. And to me, it's whatever. I'm not against them doing it. I just think I'm calling shenanigans on how they're trying to like present it. But maybe
Would
I'm
never
wrong. I hope
mislead
I
the
am.
public.
I hope I am. We'll see. Disney, I'm watching you at all times.
Always watching.
I know your game.
Always watching, Chapek.
Always trying to play the good
Always.
guy, but I don't buy it.
I mean, this one
You're
came
always
from
trying
Death Valley, but at this point in Chapek's life, I feel like he does a lot of like passing notes on the desk over to Valley and Damaro, so it comes from them and not him.
Of course, no.
People will like it more. So
And they'll never be a good CEO ever again because it's just become so corporate. It's
Yeah.
beyond saving it anymore.
tis what it is, dear.
I guess so. Anyway,
Those are big stuff for the news. Anyway,
okay.
sorry. Like I said, short and sweet. It's a good thing. Means nothing bad's going on, but it's also kind of a from the news.
Instead of pitching us I love that affordable housing. So like it's affordable if you're a millionaire. Affordable housing thing, gimmick. Just build a fifth gate. Because all you're doing is building houses for rich people anyway.
And then you'll
Who
get
cares?
more people to stay on your property anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, they need a fifth gate.
Especially with all the stuff that Universal's got planned and that Nintendo Land and all that coming up.
And
Disney's
now
gonna
I'm reading that Universal might have a monorail going to all the parks. That's a big deal.
Mhm.
I don't know how true it's going to be. But it's a big
I've
deal.
seen some rumors.
It's a big deal. They might be in trouble.
Yup.
Not trouble, but they might have some like serious competition. So
You could say trouble. They're giving money to the other people instead of to Disney. That's trouble for them.
I would. I don't blame people with the prices.
We are going down. We have a couple weekends for the summer, kind of bookending a cruise that we're taking. And then we have our regular Disney trip. And however, the conversation did come up about staying off property. It's so much cheaper to actually stay. Part of it was at Universal and like the Nickelodeon suites. And honestly, when we took down like, okay, we'll need rent a car, or if we went with Uber, or we priced it out and it was very close. So too many more price hikes and Disney's going to have lost all edge that they have. I think it came down to what, like $80 a day difference or something like that when we checked out the car rental versus the other transportation, like the Mears Connect or Ubers or whatever. Because I think we said it was like $25 a day for a Lyft, right? But because we have a party of 4, we need like the Lyft XL, like the minivan or the SUV that has the third row, and those are not as obviously not as easily available as like a sedan would be. So we'd have to pay more for that. But it ended up barely beating out staying off property. Barely.
I will be staying off property my next visit. I'm done with property. Take away all the perks that weren't even that great to begin with, and I'm good. You see, just look at the Airbnbs you can get. It's insane. Do I want an Airbnb with like tons of rooms and a beautiful house and a kitchen and a private screened-in pool versus a Motel 6 room with a little theming to it for half the price? Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with property. This kid is out. The words of Thomas Jefferson. Anyway,
I couldn't unmute fast enough. I'm sorry.
this kid is out. Johnny.
Oh, the immigrants
Anyway.
keeping us all in. Lansy got it. Johnny hates it.
I know, Landy.
That's literally one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Well, you gotta, show these Federalists what they're up against.
Yep.
Those Southern Democratic Republicans. I may or may not have used good portions of Act 2 in my freshman U.S. history class.
Yeah.
May or may not. It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right, let's get to the topic at hand.
You got it.
Underutilized Disney properties. Steven, this is your brainchild. It's your brainchild, man. I gotta let you start off.
Yeah. Had a few ideas. For example, for Aristocats, you really could just have a very large cat sanctuary so people can just go and pet cats for a few hours. And there you go. There's the Aristocats. Just play jazz
Cat
music in the
cafe.
background. Yeah, cat cafe. I think it'd be very relaxing, to be honest with you. I've been actually trying to go back and watch some of the classics that I never really got to see. But one movie, for me, it was between two. It was between Hercules and sorry, just left my brain. Hercules and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Those were like the two that I was going back and forth on. I ended up going. I would love to see more from Hercules. I don't know exactly what. I mean, between a ride, I was also kind of thinking because it is Greek mythology and who these people are, like that whole story of Zeus and the Greek gods. You could almost do like a show. So you know how China is, right? You go to China and they have the history of China, right? We're all around 360. You could do something like that, but with Hercules and Greek mythology and things like that. You could come up with a bunch of fun rides based off like the Greek gods type of a thing. Yeah, I don't know. Or you could do like a Indiana Jones stunt show, but with gladiator kind of fighting going on. So, yeah, so for me, Hercules, really, really good songs. The soundtrack is amazing. Go the Distance is probably one of my favorite songs. Not to mention, who's going to say no to Michael Bolton blasting that song through the park? So I think between the soundtrack, between the characters, Dan DeVito's part of it, so I'm on board. And yeah, I don't say Hercules. I just think there's a lot you can do with it.
I hear you. Sarah will agree with you on that one.
Absolutely. I also just want to say, so my friend Lauren is listening. Shout out to Stumper. She just sent me a quick text message and said she is absolutely down for it. She loves Greek mythology. She is listening. She loves the idea. I'm just saying, it's not just us.
I got a feeling this is not going to be the end of Hercules finding its way into a park.
Absolutely not.
Johnny, what you got?
Okay. Robin Hood. Did you bring Robin Hood into the parks?
Oh man!
Turn Tom Sawyer Island into Sherwood Forest and Nottingham. Just have all kinds of I'm not really sure what to do there, but
What Well, you don't need to explain what to do. You can just say what you think needs to get some love.
Yeah, like
Robin Hood gets like no love. I love Robin Hood.
I hate that bunny.
The Sherwood
Why?
Forest type. You can build like the whole like
Oh,
their
this
little
bunny.
their little place in Sherwood Forest type of thing, and even if you wanted to put I'm sure you could build like a facade that looks like the castle with Prince John and all that stuff. Like, I feel like that is a very classic Disney movie that just there's nothing. I did see Robin Hood and Little John
run into the forest
during the marathon. They were
Oodle-lolly, golly, what a day.
They were outside of Animal Kingdom, so I did grab myself a picture with them.
Yeah. Did you see Hiss?
No.
Or Hiss.
They should have like an annual archery contest in Disney World.
They
could have Merida show up too.
The only thing with Robin Hood is that I can't help but think about Robin Hood men in tights. That's it. Oh my God. I lost. Maybe I was supposed to lose. Check the script.
Oh my God.
I get another shot.
He gets another shot.
Yes.
My wife loves that movie.
He does. Yeah.
Oh, this is why we all get along.
Wasn't your mole on the other side? I have a mole.
Oh, now I need to watch this movie.
Oh,
we have it on VHS, just saying. Sorry, it's at my mom's house on VHS.
You
changed a nice musical number.
You changed your name
Man in tights
to Latrain. Yeah, it used to be.
You can't say the other one.
I get it.
Oh,
used to be House. Good change. Good change.
Oh my God. Lend me your ears. Sorry. Anyway.
They might even own that now. I don't know.
Is that a 20th Century Fox?
It might.
I think
I don't have my split screen anymore. Shut it down.
If they do own it, it then becomes an underutilized IP.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of underutilized IPs.
No, I'm not done yet.
He's the worst.
Johnny's got lots to say.
He's a poop.
The only other one, they have Peter Pan's Flight, which is whatever, but they don't have enough Captain Hook and Smee because they need to bring. I'm into Captain Hook is my favorite villain, and then we had randomly been in Epcot one day, and that little section that they used to have. Actually, which pavilions is it between that little section of where? Let me map it real quick.
I already know what you're talking about, but I can't think of like the name.
Is it between? It's between America and Italy. That little like.
Oh, never mind.
I wasn't thinking hallway where they kind of where they train the new like characters. Yeah, they had Smee there. I'd never seen Smee before. It was awesome.
Oh, I met Smee.
But they have that little roadway in between there where they bring out people who are training to be characters, and they have more of like random characters, but they need to bring Captain Hook and Smee out more.
Wow.
I don't know. I know in Disneyland they used to have like the whole pirates. They used to have the Jolly Roger, and it was like a I think it was like a restaurant. They don't have enough. They give all that love to Peter Pan's Flight, which is blah, but they should bring.
You know, it was awesome back in the day, way back in the day, when they would have way more characters out and they would just walk around the park.
Yeah.
But they don't do that anymore. I mean, the Country Bears do.
We had that random day where we were back behind the castle over like where the Sleeping Beauty fountain is, where you can kind of but like the stepsisters were like just kind of back there walking around.
Cinderella's fountain.
I'm sorry, Cinderella. I'm sorry. The stepsisters, they were back there walking around, and then Peter Pan was just kind of randomly walking around and like going up to people and walk like
you'd take a little kid and like talk to them, like grab their hand and like go around.
A little bit of that behind the castle, but they definitely should bring that back more. I understand that Disney World is like more people than Disneyland, so it's tougher to just have characters come out with, and then people crowd around them and start forming lines to take pictures and get autographs and stuff. But
yeah,
if we're gonna bring more Peter Pan stuff, can we put children in the boombox when they misbehave?
Yes. Make them walk
I'll
the plank.
volunteer my own.
Make them walk the plank.
Mhm.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Can you imagine if there was they should have like a Peter Pan building at like Art of Animation.
So
Imagine that. Oh no, they already kind of do have a pirate ship at, was it Boardwalk? No.
Yeah,
Yeah, on beach.
but it's based on it's based on Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not a Peter Pan. They have the Pirates room or whatever with and they have princess rooms too.
Poops.
imagine if they made like Neverland. Imagine Rufio's track.
Rufio.
Oh yes,
Rufio. Rufio.
No.
Oh, actually, really quick. I don't know if I missed it, but John, if you're gonna have Captain Hook, is it the cartoon Hook or is it Hook, like
No.
Dustin Hoffman Hook?
Cartoon Hook. I like the cartoon Hook.
Could you have like a Rufio meet and greet where you challenge Rufio to like, he says like, you're a, like, you know how they were having like him and Robin Williams go back and forth cracking jokes at each other. You have to like try to beat him. That'd be fun, right?
Like a poetry slam. Kind
Like
of.
he just starts off on you like based on your personal appearance, and then then you have to go back at him.
Well,
If
last
you win,
time
you get a
Rufio
fast
got a
pass.
sword fight didn't end well.
No, it did not.
No.
Poor Rufio.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, he took a stab at it. Wait, what can you say?
He kind of got what he had coming to him a little bit, though. He was a little bit of a cocky little guy.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No, he did.
Rufio, cut a rug.
Rufio learned the lesson the hard way.
Not
He
from
got
Pointy
to-
Way.
Yeah, he got to the point. Darn.
Yeah. And
An
you get the
obvious-
point, yeah.
And they need to bring,
At the point in the end.
they
Oh,
need
that's
to
the
bring
Jungle Cruise. Sorry.
the Tower of Terror movie into the Tower of Terror ride because poor Steve Gutenberg, he's not doing anything. You could just kind of bring him in and he could bring the guests into the Tower of Terror, bring him back, and Kirsten Dunst too because she's not doing anything either, as opposed to the Oscars, who Amy Schumer made fun of her as a seat filler, so she's not doing anything.
Wow.
That got
Kirsten
real.
Dunst.
Just- I'm-
Kirsten-
Man, she brought it and bring it on.
I was gonna say she must have been like, oh, it's already been brought in.
I said, boom. It's cold.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm not cheerleader for a reason.
I gotta look up Steve Gutenberg now because there was something I wanted to say about him, but I can't remember.
On
what
you
it's called.
long, didn't know.
Anyway,
he was
Sarah,
a good soccer coach in the Big Green too.
he was in another one too about soccer.
So one of my underutilized properties, as you can see right here, is the Emperor's New Groove. I don't know why we don't have at least some sort of a thrill coaster. I know it doesn't make sense where it is in Animal Kingdom in Asia. However, if we had like a Latin America section that we could add on instead of Dido Land. Anyway, we've got this amazing alpaca llama thing out in Peru. We could throw some Machu Picchu in there, and inside of Machu Picchu could be, I don't know, Yzma's lair, where you pull the lever. Why do we even have that lever? And you go on a ride, through her lab. Underneath, you see little guys, you get sprayed with water. It could be like the backwards thing, like use the same track as Yeti, because Yeti doesn't work. So we use the same track. We have some forward, we have some backwards. It could be in the dark, it could be sometimes out of the dark. Who knows? There's options, people. There are options. Anyway, so that was the big one that I really enjoyed. Another underappreciated is, I hate that stupid bunny, Tim. I also went with Hunchback of Notre Dame. I had done a script for Tim a while ago.
That's a good one.
I lost it and I was like, if they were really going for that cultural approach instead of the Eiffel Tower, they could have gone with the Church of Notre Dame, Our Lady of Notre Dame. And it seemed like, I don't even know how many years ago now it was, but it caught fire and everybody was devastated and everybody put up their pictures of them visiting the church. And I said, well, if it's such a central piece, I was like, well, it's also religious. And so Disney tries to kind of, a non-religious icon made sense over a religious one. But I feel like you could do so much. You could have a stage show. Like he said, the music's incredible. We'll just keep out Hell's Fire because that's a little creepy when you realize as an adult what that song is actually about. Concerning.
That's a dark Disney movie.
Yes, very
It's
much
good.
so. You could have all kinds of music. You could have a stage show, like a sing-along, obviously not that song. You could sell all kinds of, Lancy's always talking about the souvenirs and the merchandising piece is all kinds of stained glass that could be brought in. If you imagine the arts festival of the arts could have a field day with all kinds of
a stained glass cup.
I have a stained glass kaleidoscope that my French teacher got for me when I was in high school one year because I babysat her guinea pigs on April vacation one year. And it's incredible. And it's just like a little trinket. It's not anything like crazy, but could you imagine what could be done there? The music, the art, the history behind it, the moral lessons.
So if you put it at Epcot, imagine the show up in the towers,
Mhm.
you know, kind of like
Right.
how they do with America,
Right.
the show.
Or even incorporate that instead of the weird things they did with the fountains that don't work anymore. Anyway,
It's not stuff like that doesn't seem to be working right now.
they took the animation, like the illustration, of the fountains, the daytime fountains, off of the app because they just don't have the fountains running during the day. And I don't think that's what they wanted it for, but
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback. And then back in the day, Pocahontas was my jam.
Okay.
I did meet Poke and John Smith once upon a time ago.
Must have been a long time ago.
Once upon a time. And while obviously not the most relevant or culturally correct story that Disney's ever done, I feel like maybe like bring the characters back. I don't know why we hide them out.
Well, they used to have Pocahontas and Miko in Animal Kingdom. There was like
Oh,
that little like side path you walk behind. I didn't forget where it was, but it was like you walk down a path behind a building, and it was like
I met Miko.
yes, where the up birds are.
All right.
The upstage show is the birds in flight. That little path, you used to be able to meet them, but now they're on like that boat cavalcade on the river in Animal Kingdom. That's it.
So if you want to see Miko and Shmi in one meet and greet, just go on the Quick Diz Takes channel, which if you're watching this right now, you're on, and go to Quick Vlog Epcot, and you will see me and Arya meet both Shmi and Miko standing side by side
well,
in a
Okay,
rare
now.
character appearance. Just saying. Also, I've never seen a movie in my life that struggled with tone issues as much as Hunchback of Notre Dame. 1 minute they're singing about death, the next minute they get gargoyles singing goofy little songs. It doesn't. It's like you feel dark and sad, and then it feels like it's so weird.
You got
I like
Jason
them.
Alexander singing to you. How can you be upset about that?
It's got
A
tone-
guy like you.
It's the most bizarre. Like it just goes from high to low. It's weird.
Every time I make crescent rolls, I cannot help but think of Jason Alexander singing to me.
It's like
Since
watching
you're
Nightmare
shit-
on Elm Street, and then like all of a sudden they break into like a musical number. Like,
No
it's
question,
It's
no.
weird. I like the movie though.
Do you guys remember when, I don't know, we were maybe like tweens to teens, like early teens maybe, there was a computer game meant for your desktop computer, and it was the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
no.
Do you remember this?
I mean,
You
I
had
believe
to,
it
like-
exists. I'm
You
not
had to
aware
like
of it.
match the pattern of the stained glass, and Jolly was there. There also used to be a Disney game, like a Walt Disney World Explorer, maybe. I want to say it was called Walt Disney World Explorer. And it was a computer game that essentially was like the precursor to the My Disney experience. Like you could check out things in the parks and like preview like descriptions of shows. And I need to find the artwork for this stuff now and share
Oh,
it
here
with
we
you
go.
guys.
You met Max from Goofy Movie too during that thing.
Oh, Johnny's viewing it.
I'm watching right now.
Johnny wants to see what I
Johnny's
got.
creeping.
Johnny's calling me out. Wants to make sure I'm not
there,
lying.
There it is. Miko and Smee right next to each other.
See, there it is. I
Weird.
wasn't
Why are they
joking.
so close to each other?
You had Eeyore, you had Tigger, Chip and Dale. You had a good little time. It's
was
that
a
little
kid.
walkway I was talking about.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I
is it
know.
the same one?
I cashed in that day.
Yeah, that was a good
I guess so.
Anyway,
so.
is it my turn?
Go for it. Sorry.
Okay.
I kind of went on.
No,
was
I didn't know.
excited about this
Okay.
stuff. Sorry.
So I want to start off on the same idea as Johnny, where this already exists in the park, but it's an underutilized IP because they're not utilizing it the way they should. Star Wars. I want original trilogy. I want prequel trilogy even over what they give you right now. I'm tired of being just drowning me in sequel trilogy nonsense. I like the sequel trilogy enough. It's fine, whatever. I want Vader. I want Palpatine. I was talking with a friend tonight about this. Imagine going through, I know, Steven, I'm not going to spoil because I know you haven't done these rides, but, Johnny, imagine going through Rise of the Resistance, and then instead of Kylo in that one part, it's like Palpatine, you know what I mean, in a throne room. I've said this before on the shows. I'm not going to keep going, but that is a big one to me. And it bugs me. And then Aladdin. I think Aladdin is the obvious one because, come on, flying carpets, really?
Carpets, jeez.
And if you're gonna have flying carpets, you can't make a more of a Peter Pan style, like a better ride.
And have a camel that spits.
Can we utilize a flight of passage ride system or something? Can we get?
We used to have that cool magic carpet one when Disney Quest was there, where you could fly your own carpet. That was that VR game.
Yeah,
but they got rid of Disney Quest.
I'll take a book report style ride at this point for Aladdin, just something that's more. And then you know what? I'll throw Beauty and the Beast in there too.
If we took Lancey's idea of the cat sanctuary, can we throw Raja in there and have all the kitties?
Yeah.
And that would go with my 101 Dalmatians room, where you literally just have puppies everywhere. And then you can adopt them at the end of your vacation. I don't know.
It just makes you wonder how they pick and choose what they're going to use.
And you pick the 5 or 6 dogs that you want skin for your coat.
And then and then it's kind of like when you build your own lightsaber, but you build your own Dalmatian for a coat. Oh man. Anyway, I would imagine that some of these properties that we've talked about have been on the cutting, ideas have been presented. They just never got, especially with like Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast, for example. Well, Beauty and the Beast is finally, I guess, doesn't count anymore because it does now have its own dark ride, just not in an American park.
Yeah.
Just hard to imagine movies like that at that caliber. Even Lion
King, yeah.
Really? Like, how does Lion King not have like?
It had that show.
A dark ride.
It had the show
somewhere,
and then they got rid of it. That was just a show.
Or an Animal Kingdom.
Well, I was gonna say a ride that they could have for Lion King. So I don't know if you guys have been to Busch Gardens, but they have a Cheetah Coaster.
Yep.
I mean, this thing is, it is nimble. Like it turns on a dime. I've never seen a coaster. I think it's that newer technology where it's like the track is cubed rather than just kind of flat. Like, I don't know if you guys. So
yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just moves like that's why it's called a Cheetah. You could do something like that of how a coaster that kind of mimics how an animal moves. I feel like they may need to go either to a 5th park if they were to do a lot of things that I think, because typically you would put this in Hollywood studios because it deals with movies, multiple movies, not just Star Wars. But I feel like with Toy Story Land and Star Wars,
mostly Star Wars,
Hollywood Studios, where we honor all movies, but mostly Star Wars.
It's true.
So I think that because you lost that space, and you don't have maybe enough room for all this, you could pepper these things in. Like I think, so actually, here's a question. We've talked about how we don't like movies kind of creeping in onto Epcot because Epcot should be a learning experience, all that stuff. However, how would you guys feel if like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like we were talking, was at Epcot? Would that be completely out of place?
No,
I would say no,
because Ratatouille's works over there right now, I guess. But it's a
So
little.
my
I don't mind it when it actually works like that.
like Coco works for me because Coco was about culture.
That's what I
Hunchback
mean.
works for me because Hunchback was about the history of Paris. Pocahontas, while not the most accurate, works because it's about our beginnings as a country. Like we're not going to celebrate Bastille Day out in France. However, it makes more sense to have something to stick with edutainment about Hunchback in there than it does Ratatouille.
Mm-hmm.
Money-wise, it makes sense to have Ratatouille and not Hunchback, but it is what it is.
I would like to see more of like shows. Like every movie that we've said, like we could really do a show. Kind of like so this kind of, but like Magic Kingdom, we have the Muppets, right? Out, with the window talking about the country and everything like that. Somewhat similar. Let's say you have the Bell Tower, Hunchback Notre Dame. You have Hercules, outside of, or Zeus, whatever it is. I feel like they could do more with the music and the soundtrack. But if they were going to go through rides, I feel like you have to go to a fifth park, because I don't know where there's any room. I mean, unless you start really changing out a lot of rides, which maybe they should do.
I mean, they still have plenty of room in Epcot to add more pavilions. Greece, I think we did this on a previous show, where we could add it. It's a cultural based thing. Have food, have dancing. They have the booths there during the festivals. Make it a permanent thing. Add in a stage show. I think the only like stage shows like Beauty and the Beast is in Hollywood Studios. Frozen Sing Along, Hollywood Studios. All of those things that could technically fit in Epcot are not in Epcot. There's no stage show. I really, dear Disney executives, if you're listening to this and take one thing from our show, reduce prices. If you take two things from our show, reduce prices and add Greece to the Epcot World Showcase Pavilion. Please and thank you. Love Quick Desk Takes on behalf of me. Thank you.
And don't add any more pavilions unless they're going to have a ride with it.
And get rid of the Tiki Room.
No, that wasn't it. And if you could just vet all of your decisions by us, that'd be awesome. Thanks.
Get rid of the Tiki. Because of that outburst from Steven, he's getting this.
Anytime I ask Alexa to play Disney music, she always throws that in. Oh, it's fantastic.
Get rid of this too.
Thanks.
Well, it's now in Canto. So instead of It's a Small World, you can hear We Don't Talk About Bruno on a loop.
Actually, give us the park for like one day, and I will completely clean out everything they need to clean out of there.
He'll prefab everything.
Gone. Peter Pan roasted.
Honestly, if there's a land that I'm ready to just scrap completely, Dino Land.
Tiki Room roasted.
Well, we can roast it,
but it won't go. But it won't go away.
No,
it'll be revitalized.
It won't be under new management with Iago and Zazu.
No, it will be like we talked about. Have a bar in there or something.
Yep.
It'd be cool.
I would go there. I can deal with that song if I'm drinking a pina colada.
Or a Dole Whip with rum.
I'm getting caught in the rain.
Ayo. Sorry, everything's fine. It took me a hot second, but I got it.
Yep. See?
Johnny. Whoosh.
I don't know. Well, first of all, the Tiki Room has some PC issues to begin with, right? So there's an excuse to do something to it to begin with. Not to mention that it's just old and outdated.
I don't know if it has a PC problem, but it has a CP problem. Cheap plastic.
I think it has both. Let's go with both on that. My wife, that actually makes her like it more. The little flowers come up and she can hear the
vintage.
That's laughing like hell.
The best part is the drummers. What are they, alligators or something? They're nowhere close to actually hitting the drum, and they're out of sync with the beat that's actually going on. Like they don't have it timed. Disney,
they could
do better.
It. And wouldn't you have to spend that much money to fix that?
Honestly, that's like a timing issue, isn't it? Like just have an engineer go
whole show and keep the whole show, but just have it at a bar with alcohol. And trust me, it doesn't matter if they fix it. Those alligators will be on beat after a few drinks. Trust me.
We'll just move the show to Polly into Trader Sam's Grotto. We're fine.
They're never getting rid of that show.
I gotta tell you, these plastic birds are the best musicians I've ever heard.
Is that like the one night that I actually did karaoke? Hands down, showstopper.
You could go on like the the Magic Kingdom concert tour. You start in Tiki Room, and you head over to Country Bear Jamboree. Then you head over to Sunny Eclipse.
The hardest working alien in show business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Is there another
harder than Stitch because his attraction is gone?
Sunny Eclipse. That's my boy.
I don't know, man. Stitch was terrible.
He's a big moneymaker. They just had a crappy attraction for
That
him.
attraction was terrible. No, I like Stitch. I don't mean like that. That attraction was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And there's so much Stitch merchandise out even now. I have a student in my class. She's a freshman. She's obsessed with Stitch. Her hair is dyed blue because she loves Stitch.
Yeah, Stitch is good.
He just had a really crappy attraction.
It was really bad. It's a bad overlay. And it's time to let It's a Small World go too. It's too much. You know how big It's a Small World show building is? You know how big of an attraction you could put in there that people would want to ride? I don't know.
I wonder if they would be limited with the Lilo and Stitch kind of a thing because of the licensing to Elvis songs.
Yeah. We can get Hawaiian roller coaster ride.
True.
That's a good
I
jam.
would be so on board with that. Absolutely.
How about Lilo and Stitch and Moana crossover?
Oh.
Crossover.
I don't know. Do they exist in the same universe?
So Motunui is like the Easter Islands, I think. I mean, it's not that far from Hawaii. I don't know. Geography is not my strong suit.
Grab a surfboard. Head on over.
Anything's better than, yeah. Poor Tiki Room. Tiki Room could arguably be overutilized. Well, it's not an IP, so I heard this. Do you know there's like a Tiki Room Marvel comic book, and people say it's really good?
Really?
There's like stories.
Is it about like Hans Fritz?
I'm gonna get a few.
Jose?
Just mail them to Lindsay. He comes on like a month later. He's like the biggest fan.
I don't know. That's a
My eyes were open.
And at last, I see the light.
Yeah, yeah.
Took a pina colada or two, but yeah, I actually got pretty good.
Pina coladas. I haven't had one of those since my honeymoon.
I didn't think those birds were gonna, win out in the end, but
They're quite a little. Yeah.
Telling you, I got a projector and a screen. We'll set something up in the yard. Even if it's Hamilton, let's do it.
It would be awesome if you could buy a tiki bird. Yeah,
Like
you
they
know how
auction
Johnny
it
has
off?
No, like Johnny has Madame Leota's head. If you could buy like a replica tiki bird and I could put it up there and I could talk to it, I could put it in front of the microphone and talk through it, and it would be Lanzy podcasting with a tiki bird.
I now handed my 2 weeks.
Could be a tiki bird.
No, I was waiting for that.
And every time I made a point, my voice goes like click, 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 click. That would be amazing. Like you'd have to listen to what I was saying, but it would click at the end of everything. He's getting a headache. All right.
Oh, wait.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
There's it's a picture of Jose on Etsy for $24.
I have a little tiki bird wishable.
It's a little plush guy.
Yeah.
Other side, Tim.
Oh yeah, I have that. I was like, I have a poster somewhere.
I didn't know if it was a poster or a calendar. I was like, is that Ariana DeBose I see?
No, yeah, the Hamilton calendar's right there. But
God.
Just
like,
watch it,
Wow.
Johnny.
So this says
someone drank their haterade.
ready for this?
Sometimes it makes me wonder why we even bring the thunder.
Why he even brings it.
Thunder.
Disney Enchanted Tiki Room Jose Parrot Bird figurine retired.
Does it?
Ooh.
So it talks?
I don't know if it talks, but would you like to know how much it is?
Probably a lot of money.
Like 2 DVC contracts in your kidney?
Not $999.
That's not as bad as I thought it would be. Still expensive.
$1,000 hairs, and that is.
And that thing is pretty awesome though. Let's face the facts, yeah.
You know what the sad thing is?
No, it's in your head.
No. Well, yeah, but no. The saddest thing of that whole thing is that bird is retired, meaning they've changed them out and just put in the same crappy plastic bird.
Maybe they just made a whole bunch of them at the very beginning when they made the attraction. So when they needed to change it out, there was no continuity issues. Yeah. Huh? They made like 4 Jose's, 4 Fritz's.
Or
Was it
they
buy
just
one
changed
get
it out
one?
with them. They just changed it out with
They made a
yeah,
mold. I don't know.
Well, they went to Five Below and they bought a bunch of them.
Five Below's gonna come back and sue us for using their name.
Oh man.
No.
I still live for the day that I get to go to the tiki room with Landy.
Let's
You
make it
never
a
know.
reality.
It could
Not
happen.
this summer, but
You
maybe
never
next
know.
year. Yeah,
Could
never.
happen.
Never know.
And if it does, it'll be amazing.
I'll have to lose a bet. Either that or somebody's buying me a drink.
I'll buy you a drink.
I could buy you a drink.
We'd have to park hop because you can't drink in Magic Kingdom.
Ah, Lane. All right, so we'll
Wait.
bring Landy around the world.
Or we'd
And
have
we'll
to take
throw
him
him on the
to be,
monorail.
I saw something about alcoholic drinks returned to Main Street.
well, we have to bring him in to be our guest or something.
Yeah,
Then you can drink.
we'll get him all oil, all lubed up, and then it'll be good to go.
Oh my God.
It
We'll
is
just
the
do the
best
monorail crawl.
concert
We'll go
I've been to in
Contemporary,
years.
Grand Floridian, and Polynesian, and then stop at Magic Kingdom and walk in.
I'll be so lit. I'll be talking to Sunny Eclipse. Elton John's getting nothing on you, Sonny.
I'm gonna put a cup in front of Sunny Eclipse. Landy be sticking dollars in it. You're great. The best. If Disney
thank
did
God
that,
that-
people would probably put money in it.
Thank God there isn't a Hunchback Notre Dame ride because I'd be there going, bring on the gypsies. Where are the gypsies?
Easy, Frodo. Frollo.
Frollo.
That was
Frollo's
Judge
Froyo,
Claude Frollo.
who may be the most evil Disney villain of all time.
Like as a kid, it completely went over my head. And then someone brought up like the soundtrack of Notre Dame Hunchback, and I was like, oh, it's so good, so good. And they threw in like a screenshot where he's throwing Esmeralda's scarf. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. He's throwing her scarf from Festival of the Fools into the flame, and it like comes out and like, oh my God, like it dawned on me what that song was really about. And I was like, how did that get in?
Just the reality they live
Oh,
in.
there's that.
All right. Anyway,
Sorry.
good topic. Good news.
Thanks.
Good night. We're gonna get out of here. We'll be back next week with some more fun talk on perhaps Tiki Room. Perhaps it's a small world.
Deep dive tiki room.
Perhaps we'll get into a topic I hate because Angry Tim hasn't been out in a while, or something Johnny hates with Sarah. We've yet to touch on anything Sarah hates. It's got to be something out there. We'll find it one day.
There was something that made me a little grumpy, and you're like, oh my goodness, but it wasn't anything like crazy. I didn't get red in the face like you do.
Yeah.
I was just grumpy. I don't remember what it was.
I'm gonna get grumpy when the virtual queue opens up for Guardians of the Galaxy because I'm gonna hear stories about it. And I'm not gonna like it.
I mean, you have already lived through the realm of the dawn of the virtual queue.
It doesn't matter.
So it's just for a different ride.
It's unacceptable.
Same poop, different ride, man.
It's unacceptable to deny someone that came all the way up from like South America, for example, a ride on one of your attractions when they paid a gazillion dollars to get into a park.
In the words of a Bluey character, this is unacceptable.
It's true.
Oh, we could talk about
That's-
Bluey.
It really is true.
I do love Bluey.
It's like imagine going to see like Hamilton or something, and you pay whatever it is to get in, and then they're like, "Well, we're not gonna sing this song, and this song because you just weren't able to do it."
That's
Yeah.
You pay
okay.
to see Hamilton. You can't see the
Perfectly
king.
fine.
Yeah, you don't get the king.
You
Johnny,
don't
that
get
was-
King George.
That was not directed at you. Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean?
Someone said Thane Jasperson is playing King George III tonight. I don't know where, but Thane's the king.
No, wonderful.
I didn't see that.
I'm in Hamilton group on Facebook. I know that's shocking. And they said they had tickets to go see the show tonight, and they were pumped to see Thane as the king. It's KG3, as we call him in the
Uh,
Hamilverse.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Check the front porch before you go.
Don't worry about the front porch.
I would like to know. Sorry, our Ring camera detected motion. Someone at our door like 20 minutes ago. And I was a little creeped out by that because it's nighttime here where we are. And I checked and someone dropped off like a DoorDash order.
Nice.
So we may have a really late night snack. I don't know.
Hey, you should be happy with free food, so just be quiet.
As long as there's no olives. No, I like olives. No
Well,
onion.
where was it from?
I don't know. It just it showed up on my ring.
Like, where was the food from?
I don't know. We haven't been outside to go get the food.
Oh, okay.
We didn't order, as far as I'm aware, we didn't order DoorDash. We've been on with you guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Any of
So
the
it's a
kids
happy
local?
ending. What?
All right. We're out. Enjoy your food, Johnny and Sarah.
Bye.
And we will see everyone next week.
Easter Sunday.
It's Easter.
Ooh. I think we'll see everybody next week. Stay
That's all right.
tuned.
We'll post, it's fine.
My belly would be full of Reese's eggs
Stay tuned.
Cadbury-
Johnny's belly would
Cadbury.
be full of Easter eggs
and Cadbury mini eggs.
and Cadbury mini eggs.
And the children will be crying that you've eaten all their candy.
That's their problem, not mine.
Just like a Halloween.
And I'm ending the